This is my audience. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross once said, "The most beautiful people we have known are those who have been known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and found their way out the depths. These persons have an appreciation, a sensitivity, and have a understanding of life that fills them with compassion and a deeper loving concern. Beautiful people do not just happen." Today I'm going to persuade you as to why schools should offer mental health courses, and I would like you to suggest that schools do just that. If enough people express how important offering mental health courses is, I am certain it would get through to school administrators, which would then result in students having the type of support needed for them to thrive. I have completed research about mental health of students, and I hope to possibly work in the mental health and psychology field in the future. Today, I will cover how offering these types of courses will allow students to become better educated about mental health, provide students with mental health resources, and creates a safer school and community. I would like to begin by discussing how students will become better educated about mental health. One of the first steps in order to get your own mental health in check is by learning more about what is going on and why it is happening. You cannot really fix something you know nothing about. It would most likely just result in failed attempts and wasted time. According to Vestal 2018, an empowering journalist, over the past decade to address the rising need for mental health care in schools, they are taking several steps and quite the initiative to make a difference. Lately, mental health problems have been rising, especially in Generation Z. Here in this graph, you can see that Generation Z is most likely to have bad mental health, in that problems in the world affect Gen Z most. Generation Z is those born from 1997 to 2015. Usually the things adults see from this generation are just behaviors that stem from mental issues they are dealing with. Often children are punished for unacceptable behavior and intolerable actions, when the actions they make are the only way they may know to express what they're feeling. School is where Generation Z spends most of their time throughout the week. Although it may not be by choice, it is the environment in which most children grow. Because this is where students spend most of their time, schools should feel obligated to provide them with mental health courses. Also, an abundance of students feel that school takes a very big toll on their mental health. According to Hippie 2021, an author at Nisotrom and Associates, what better way to combat mental health stigma than through young people? Generation Z is statistically found to be the most depressed generation, which is why it makes sense to reach out to young people. In these courses, many different things can be taught, starting with the fact that mental health is real and it is normal. Here in this image, you can see that 3 different people are thinking the same thing, yet they think that no one else is thinking that, but they're false. So many people don't get help because they are made to believe that it makes them weak or less than. By taking mental health courses, students are able to learn the truth rather than myths people choose to spread. The mental health courses offered would not be mandatory. It would be a very casual thing so that students will feel as comfortable as possible. There would be no grades in these courses either. If anything, it would seem more like an extracurricular, just offered as a regular course. These courses would start at the beginning of each quarter. Students will be encouraged to talk about what they are feeling, learn coping skills, learn self-care activities, learn signs and symptoms, learn to promote a physical well-being, and gain a referral system. Students will learn about the different types of mental illness and be able to take self-assessments. Assessments like my mood monitor or psychological distress scale. Here you can see 2 different assessments. This is an assessment that a physician would be more likely to give, and then over here is an assessment that a patient would take on their own. Students will have the opportunity to express how they are feeling and learn what steps they can take to best help themselves. Now that we discussed how students would have the opportunity to become educated on mental health, we will now talk about how these courses can help students by providing them with resources. Helping students find mental health resources lets them know and feel like they are not alone. When people feel alone, they can make poor choices that may not just affect them, but others as well. Even if someone is not physically alone, mentally, they may still feel alone. That can be because of their ongoing thoughts or just situations they're in general. According to University of Michigan, 2021, one of the best public research universities in the US, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. By asking for help, students are accepting that they can not go through their problems on their own and allowing others who may be more skilled or knowledgeable to help. There are people who have gone to school, studied, and have a profession in psychology. These people have learned an abundance about mental health to help those who need it. Although they may not have all of the answers, they are sure to work with you and eventually end up helping in the way that you need. Sometimes we try to do things on our own, whether it be to prove something to someone else or yourself. By just asking, you will know what you did not know before. Asking for help lets people know that you are going through something. Sometimes we assume that everyone knows we are going through something when in actuality they are clueless. According to 2U Incorporation 2021, a global leader in education technology, most people do not have access to the resources they need when they need help. Mental health courses will help students so they do not find themselves in that situation. Mental health resources are available to help people 24/7 so that they do not have to struggle alone. Some well-known resources are places like the National Suicide Prevention Hotline and many more. Here are some more resources like ComQuest, Mental Health Addiction Recovery, MHAS, Mental Health America of Ohio, and just talk therapy in general. Often you can hear an ad or commercial that basically says, if you or anyone you know is having thoughts of suicide, call 1-800-273-TALK. Now that we discussed how these courses would provide students with mental health resources, we will now talk about how mental health courses will create a safer school and community. Keeping students safe should be school's #1 priority. Because it is a priority of parents, parents should be pushing for schools to offer mental health courses. Schools allowing mental health courses will create a safer school and community, which is the most important thing. According to NAESP 2021, a company who works with lawmakers to ensure school safety, students cannot learn if they do not feel safe, welcome, and supported. When mental health courses are provided, it will be less likely for students to have random outbursts and be unable to control what they are feeling, which is common and expected from someone who is struggling with mental health. Because they are so overwhelmed with thoughts and emotions, it can be difficult to express what they are feeling or thinking. Mental health courses will help students to feel safer because they will know that their peers who struggle with mental health have access to help. Usually students know more about their peers than administrators. So for students to not have to worry because specific courses are being implemented is fantastic. If these students are given the help they need, no one will have to worry about feeling in danger because of actions others make. According to Gilbert 2019, the program director and the therapist at Mindful Path, community is critical for us to thrive, especially for someone with mental illness. Community can be anyone and everyone who you feel connected to, whether that be family, friends, teachers, or coworkers. Knowing that there are people looking out for you and knowing that people are caring is extremely important for someone who struggles with mental health. Here are some examples of community. All of these people can be considered as lifelines. If there should come a time where you are really struggling and need help, while some may argue that offering mental health courses will be costly, my position stands that helping the mental health of students should be done no matter the cost. Now I would like to close with the following statements. We have specifically looked at how offering these types of courses will allow students to become better educated about mental health, provide students with mental health resources, and creates a safer school and community. I hope that I have successfully informed you about why schools should offer mental health courses. I hope that you will consider suggesting that schools offer mental health courses.
My audience.